Hello and welcome to Let's Dance with Charlotte Elizabeth. That's me. So, this podcast is going to cover everything from dance, health, fitness. I will include how to prepare for your first dance for your wedding or using that kind of scenario for special occasions. There will be planning hen parties and ideas for planning hen parties, but the main focus of this podcast is dance. I am the owner of Feel the Beats UK, and I'm going to get you all moving. So let's get on with the show. Hello, and welcome back to Let's Dance with Charlotte Elizabeth. I am back from my amazing holiday. Um, it was everything I needed, a mixture of relaxation, being a tourist, and just letting the mind wander, come up with all different sorts of ideas, process all the different things that I have been doing recently with obviously the change to business and everything else. So I wanted to ease us back in. And I thought that today's topic, we'll talk about confidence. It's something that comes up a lot and it can mean different things for different people. So I thought we'd kind of tap into a little bit, and I'm not going to get too scientific on you, don't worry, on how dance can really help you with your confidence. You might be learning to dance for your big day. You might be taking part in a class as part of a hen party. You might have decided that actually now is the time that you're going to put you first. You love to dance and you're going to go to a dance class, but oh my God, you've got to go in as the beginner and everyone knows exactly what they're doing and everyone's perfect and amazing. And that's really not the case. I know because I have been there multiple times. Confidence doesn't magically appear. Some people say fake it till you make it. The reality is that doesn't work. Well, it kind of works to an extent. It puts your brain into like a false sense of kind of fake believing, and then it tries to show you signs that you can do it. So that's kind of where the concept of fake it till you make it. By telling yourself that you can do it, your brain looks for examples to prove a point. It tries to prove itself wrong. So it looks for all the examples, and when it can't, it goes, oh, well, I must be confident. Lots of people say to me, oh, you must be really confident to do lives, to do a podcast, to be writing a book. No, absolutely not. It takes a lot of effort. Lives, they don't really phase me. I can quite easily hit the record button and ramble away, a bit like I do with the podcast. The podcast, I have to get a bit more thinking involved, because I want there to be, oh, just dropping everything. I want there to be a linear flow to the podcast, but it to also make sense as standalone episodes. So once I've worked out my topic, I'm great and I can just talk, but I do ramble a little bit and I worry that it's not making any sense and that it's not good enough, but it's out there. And if I don't put it out there, someone else will. So I'm not as confident as people think. I was going to Zumba and I was nervous every time going in because I don't know anyone and no one really talks to me in the lesson. They don't say hi when I walk in. They don't say see you next week when I leave. It's quite lonely. So I've not actually been for a few weeks because it's been very warm and the venue that this class is in doesn't really have aircon. I'm like, I don't need that. But it's not fun. Like it's fun for me because I'm getting to do a workout and switch off. But it's lonely because I'm just on my own. And that's not fun. That is absolutely not fun. And yes, some people could argue that, well, I could go and introduce myself to people, but that's just not who I am. So whether I go back to that Zumba class or not, I don't know. So I get it when you're like, oh, I'm going to go to a dance class, but I don't know anyone. And I'm going to be the beginner and everyone else is going to be perfect. And that's really not the case. You will probably find that a lot of people, whilst they're in the class and are on the surface looking like they know what they're doing, internally, their brain is telling them that they're not good, that they don't look like her and they don't look like this. And actually, they might not be that confident, but they're just there and having fun. So here are kind of some tips, if you like. And if I'm looking down, it's because I've got my phone for notes to try and keep me on track. So as I've said, the whole fake it till you make it doesn't really work. So where have my notes gone? Yes. So the main way in which dance helps with your confidence is that the actual journey of going from a beginner to knowing nothing to making the mistakes, fumbling along, making it up as you go along, to then your brain learning what the moves are and what comes next. So we have to be the beginner. And I say this every time when it comes to wedding dances. Allow yourself to be the beginner. That's why you've booked someone like me, because you don't have the experience. You want my experience to help you. So be the beginner. Be okay with the fact that you are the beginner, you're going to go wrong, and it's not going to make any sense. It's how your brain is going to learn because it's trying to build the muscle memory to get the messages from your brain down to your arms, your feet in a nanosecond to make you go the same way as everyone else. And you're learning a foreign language. If you're going to something like ballet, a lot of the terms are French. So you're now trying to learn French and dance and follow along and all the other things. So be okay with the fact that you're going to go wrong. Even as an expert, I go wrong. At hen parties, I laugh at myself and I say to people, I'm not worried about whether you get it right or wrong in a hen party. You're here to have fun. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to laugh at me because I forget my own choreography. It just relaxes the room. It makes me feel okay about the fact that I know I'm going to go wrong and that they're not going to kick off or complain because I've already told them I'm going to go wrong. And you can laugh at me because I'm going to laugh at myself. So it just eases the room and makes it all more fun. I was having a conversation the other day with a friend who we were talking about different things. I talked about like my book launch and a potential dance session within the book launch. And she said, no, I don't want to do that. Wouldn't stop me coming along to the book launch, but I don't want to join in the dance because I know you're going to look at my feet. And I was like, what do you mean I'm going to look at your feet? And she went, my body can do it, but I know my feet won't be doing it. And you're going to look at my feet and then it's going to make me not want to do it. That's her confidence level, that she loves to dance, but please don't look at my feet. I'm going to look at your feet. I'm only looking at your feet if I've set a complex foot thing. And teachers 9 times out of 10 are only looking at certain body parts because of the elements of the choreography. It's not because they're nitpicking, but I get it. So it was an interesting discussion to say, well, okay, how can we make dance more welcoming? Because everyone wants to dance, but they're scared because they tell themselves they can't. And I know this hasn't really gone anywhere. It's kind of rambled and tangent, but that's me. And if it makes sense to you, then it makes sense to you. Further down the line, I might redo this in a more structured, but for now, my big tip is be okay with being the beginner, with the fact you will go wrong, and try a few things. So I'm kind of feeling that actually Zumba isn't for me. Like I like it and stuff, but that particular class isn't for me because as much as the teacher's welcoming, some of the other people, they don't want to know. They're not there to make friends. And I'm not necessarily there to make friends, but it would be nice to know a few people because I literally know no one in the area that I live apart from my partner, my work colleagues, and people that I've met through him. Outside of that, I don't have my own group of friends. So it would be nice to make a group of friends. But okay, maybe not that group. So try a few different things to find your thing. Ballet might be too intense for you. Okay, so try contemporary. Try Sarok, which is more social dancing. It's less formal. Yes, you dance in partners, but the females, or the follows rather, they move around the room and the leads stay put, and you get to dance with different people. Maybe that's your thing because it's not rigid. Maybe tap. Maybe tap's your thing and you're like, oh my God, I've unlocked this whole Maybe you've got itchy feet, but tap as your way around the itchy feet because you get to make noise with your feet. Whatever it may be, go and try different things because dance has so many things that it encompasses. It could be that it's Zumba. It could be club size. There's so many dance fitness things out there. Go and try. Be the beginner. Be okay with going wrong. And over time, you will feel more confident because your brain is learning that you can do it. By it learning that you can do it, helps you feel confident. Confidence is a feeling, but it comes from the action. So, like I say, lives don't really faze me because I've done them loads of times. So I don't do them regular, but at the click of a button, I can hit live and go live because I know I can do it. Whether someone comes and watches or not, I know I can do it. The same with the podcast, kind of, yes, it takes a bit more thought. And essentially, I'm talking to myself. I don't know if anyone's actually listening to the podcast, if anyone listens or whatever. The stats tell me that people do, but I don't know who they are. I literally have no idea who they are. Some of the stats could be me just checking that the podcast episodes have gone live when I've set them to go live. But over time, it's building my confidence because it's teaching me that I know what I'm talking about, which is a big thing because, yes, I've danced since I was 4. I'm now 31. At the time of this episode, I'm now 31. So I've danced all my life. I've got so many things I can talk about. But can I talk about them in a way that people actually care and actually want to know about? Is another matter. But as time progresses, and as I get to know who people are that are following, liking, interested in the podcast, will help me to bring out the relevant episodes. We've got to take the step first. Got to take the leap. Be the beginner. Be okay with going wrong. Like I say, this podcast is absolutely messy. I literally record it, snip a few bits off either end, post it. I don't faff, I don't listen to it back. I just post it. Because for now, for me, it's about getting the episodes out and working on the strategy and the other stuff as it goes. I'm not worried about it being perfect. If I worried about it being perfect, it would never go out. This episode, for instance, as I'm like hearing it back in my head, this episode, for instance, would probably be redone about 3 or 4 times because I don't feel it's going anywhere. But that's me. I ramble. I go round in circles. Eventually I get to the point and you might have got something from it. Great, done my job. I've helped you to see how dance teaches confidence. You start from the beginner, you make mistakes, your brain learns you can do it, you become confident. And you just grow and develop and you try more complicated things and you go back to being the beginner, making mistakes, getting to learn it, feeling more confident. Oh, okay, I can do this. So I'm going to leave that there for you today because I am aware that it's not very linear today. Be okay with being the beginner. Be okay with making mistakes. And over time, dance will help you with your confidence. And the same goes whether it's not dance. There's other vehicles that can help you with your confidence, but for the purpose of this, dance. Be the beginner. It's okay. And try different things. You've got to find what works for you. So I hope to see you on the next episodes when, who knows, what are we talking about? Catch you later.